game of the week, a non-conference clash. Start and Northwood this Friday, 5 p.m. on BCSN Plus. And kind of an interesting spot where both of these teams sit, right? Northwood about 14, 15 games into the season. Start kind of just getting their, no pun intended, start rolling here, right? They've only played a handful of games, whether that was the weather or whatever it's been that's piled into this, but this a game for Start that leads to some momentum if they can get this win, because they have, I was just talking to Alyssa before we started rolling, double headers 3 separate times in the next week or so. So a huge momentum game against a good Northwood program.
Yeah, 100%. And this matchup on paper is youth versus experience. Start youth, Northwood experience. Start, yes, had 6 City League titles in a row, and over the course of that span, never lost a single game within City League play. That ended this year with Alyssa's pick, Wait to win the league. Start still with some opportunities to catch up, and I believe they'll play each other again. But Coach 𝗦𝗫𝗶𝗵 still figuring things out. I know that first year, it's kind of like any of our viewers or listeners out there, the first time you get a job or the first time you get to a certain grade level, if you want to connect it to academics, you're kind of figuring things out, learning the teachers, learning your classmates, or learning the job, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what do we do during this time of the year?
Dynamic around the office.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. So that's what Coach 𝗦𝗫𝗶𝗵 is doing in any coach in any sport in his or her first year. So keep that in mind as the Spartans progress throughout this given season. But then for Northwood, you got Coach Jennifer Noonan, and Leah Wofford. Just give me her in the circle every single time.
Yep.
Also at the plate in the batter's box, hitting .629 with 27 ribbies, 2.11 ERA in the circle with 94 strikeouts. And she's got some teammates who have delivered for her as well in the field and supporting her with some run support. Cadence Carmel hitting .484, and Shelby and Sheelin Mercer both getting it done with the bat as well. So this Northwood team, they had the goals and aspirations to win the TAC because they won it last year, and they had pieces last year with a little bit of inexperience, but they got a lot of valuable experience last year, and from what I've seen, that has paid off.
So listen, you look at these two teams, right, for Start, for Northwood, this out-of-conference game, especially on Northwood's side, right? They're 7-0 in the TAC. You kind of want to keep those things rolling. How does a non-conference matchup kind of in the middle of your conference play change things up? Gives you a new look, but it also, you're like, I really want to keep this conference title rolling? Or
Absolutely. I mean, it gives you a new look, but at the same time, it's someone new, someone different.
Yeah.
And again, staying focused, playing your game, and applying all the things that you do. You talk about the little things, applying those everydays to the game and seeing where you can build. Start, not a lot of games under their belt, so not a lot of experience playing together and, like you said, figuring each other out in the way that one another plays, communicates, etc. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be really good for Start to just even get a couple more games under their belt.
Yeah, that's what you and I were talking about off air, right? Was getting to figure out how you gel together with a new coach, with so many players that left from those City League teams over the last handful of years. And all right, where do I need to stack these people up in the lineup? Where is this person comfortable? Where are we going to get hot? Who's going to be the person that, accelerates how everything's going to go in this part of the season, right?
Right.
If you're trying to start a team, Alyssa, and trying to figure out like the building blocks, if you're Start where you kind of in some ways have to hit the reset button because you do have a new coach after Coach Rinaldi went from Start over to St. Ursula, what are you kind of looking for as far as a rebuild, if that is what a given program has to go through?
I say look at what you have currently, what works, and then build off of that. I mean, you can kind of get creative, and you'd be surprised. There's a lot of times where the kid who might not be superstar at practice turns out to be the gamer when it comes down to it.
Sure.
So I think just trial and error.
Start looking to get started. Northwood looking to keep rolling. A +64 run differential for Northwood in TAC play. Hoping to carry that over to Friday night's 5 p.m. matchup over on the BCSN Plus app when they take on Start. And again, your shout out to Leah Wofford, who has been absolutely dealing so far this season. That is our game of the week, brought to you by Dunn Chevy in Oregon.